What a beautiful day. Hey, oh, it's night again.
RevelatorAlf.
Do you ever feel like you're a vampire? Getting up in the morning at the crack of sparrows and it's dark. Coming home and it's dark. 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 D-I-S-C-O. D-I-S-C-O. Yes. You know, I wouldn't normally come home this way, through the city streets, as it were. But you know what? I just got a bit fed up of riding in the bleak darkness. So I thought, let's have a few city lights to keep me company. It'd be best if they weren't red, that's for sure. Hey, here we go. Yeah, it's a weird thing, isn't it? You know, you're trapped in darkness, really. You know, you get up early in the morning, it's dark, and you go to work, and then, you know, you're coming back, you're all wrapped up in this sort of heated gear, all this winter weight gear that I'm on. Funny enough, today and tomorrow, is a little mini heat wave in early winter here. Yeah, I think it's going to get up to 14 degrees tomorrow, which is, you know, a bit odd really, but there we go. Food, 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 food. And more food. Just go through there. That's it, a little bit of a cheeky filtering. Oh, that's a cool light effect on that building with the blue stripes going up. That's cool. Yeah, look at that. Oh, it's a great day to be a vampire. It's a great day today, tonight. Oh, it sends you a little bit loopy, I've got to say. Another thing that sends you a little bit loopy, which is dark, I suppose. There is a bit of a tangent here, but a bit of a connection, I suppose. Something that's a little bit dark is oil. So, hold on, I don't want to make this a tech video, but I've noticed that, hold on, let me squeeze through here, that after I did a service on the bike recently, I think there's a video coming out soon about that, I started noticing a smell of oil as you're riding along. So I checked the oil, you know, after I did the service, the oil level I should say, and then what I noticed was that it was on the hot oil, it was actually high even though I put in the right amount. So what I did, I didn't do anything about it. I thought, you know what, let me just leave it, let me just see if it settles. So I took it out for a ride the next day, and yeah, it was indeed really high. So yeah, I had to suction it out a little bit. So if you smell oil after you've done a service, first of all, check any oil leaks around the oil filter. Make sure that's housed properly, sealed up properly. Sometimes I think you get the impression that people say, yeah, just turn it a little bit so it touches. Yeah, that's true, but you know, you do need to give it half a turn more so it does seat properly. And make sure that, you know, any oil that's dripped off when you were doing the oil change, that's all been mopped off or cleaned off as well. Make sure nothing's dripping from your sump plug and all that kind of good stuff. You know, all these things that you need to check. But if you've overfilled it, that can actually force air up through the engine breathers as well, and oil, of course, and some of that might be vacated out as well. So especially if you've got an external breather set up. So just check your oil level, your hot oil level. I don't know what other people think, but you know, the cold oil level I think is a bit of a waste of time. So hot oil level, that's where you're going to get a true running temperature or running engine oil temperature and oil level, I think. Anyway, so you might need to just reduce it down a bit. You might have heard people saying that, you know, they're running like vented dipsticks or, you know, that kind of thing, engine breathers or external breathers, that they actually reduce the oil level anyway. It makes the engine run a little bit better, or seemingly so, or it doesn't put as much oil pressure coming up through the engine breathers, that kind of thing, you know. That's all true. So I would say, you know, I wouldn't say have it too low, but you know, have it kind of middle of the road is middle of the mark is pretty decent, I would say. Anyway, back to being a vampire. These long days, I tell you what, in the summer it's not so bad at all. I'm still tiring, but these long days, you know, in the winter months or coming through winter, they are, you know, the people have this seasonal affective disorder, don't they? And I wouldn't say I've got that, but you know, you do. I love the winter. It's my favourite time of year, you know, for that. But at the same time, you know, there is, you know, if it's a great time of year if you're not doing anything, for me. But if you want to do something, of course, it can be a bit of a pain. And if you're sort of commuting to and from work, it's, you know, it can be a bit of a pain as well. But I still love it. I still love winter. I still love the darkness. So I've booked in a little test ride on a street glide, just to jog my memory, really. I sort of said it on a previous video as well, just to see what it's like, see what I think about it. I really want to sort of get to grips with that infotainment system, and also what it's likely to change next year, and you know, is it really worth the money for the kind of riding that I really want to do? So, you know, I mean, that's what I'm kind of looking at, and then hopefully at some point I'll get to ride the Road Glide and the Road King as well. The thing is, I've seen a few used street glides, and some have got really low mileage, you know, a 2020 bike, and some have got a bit more mileage on there, but a little bit older, like 2010s. And part of me is thinking, do you know what, why not just go for an older one? You know, one that's got a twin can engine, something like that. Just go for that instead of going for an M8. But then I look at this, you know, street glide specials, you know, all blacked out casings. I've seen a couple with, you know, I think the problem is, I love black bikes. Yeah, well, all the problems having a black bike, I do love a black bike. But you kind of get the sense it's a bit black overload with the street glide special, you know. Black engine cases, black exhaust, black bike. So then you think, well, okay, well, maybe have another colour. And I've seen like a white one, there's an orange one, there's dark blue one, a grey one. You know, dark grey one's pretty okay. And I think, oh, well, you know, that's really nice as well. But then also the other thing I'm looking at, which is odd. Okay, so I don't know the update on this because, again, it's kind of fluid at the moment. But 2020 bikes, M8s, those are the ones you want to buy, right? Because 2021 bikes and 2022 bikes, they had the ECM change, and obviously they changed the data link connector, which is by the by, really. So you can't upstage them. But I didn't know this. I only found this out yesterday or the day before, that I think it's Dynajet have just released in the last month and a half, have released a tuner. But it's my understanding, again, leave comments below if you know about this. So up until now, you haven't been able to do any upstage work on your 2021 bikes because of the CCM change, right? So with the tuner that Dynajet come out, you can, people have started having them done, but I understand that there's problems with it, or they've got little glitches with it. And I think the bikes are running okay, but you're just getting like check engine lights or whatever the equivalent is on a street glide. So I also heard that Vance and Hines with their FP3 tuners, they are just about, I believe, to come out with theirs imminently. And I think a couple of other tuner manufacturers are virtually on the ball. There's been a bit of a delay in the tuners being able to produce something that would work with this ECM. I don't think Harley want you to work with their ECMs anyway, but it's kind of what everybody wants to do anyway. They're going to want to upstage anyway. So if these bikes are being upstaged, but they also might be interfering with the features of RDRS. I think the 2020 bikes, that was happening as well. So this RDRS and the mapping, the upstaging, I don't know which stage it was, like a stage 2 or stage 3 or stage 4, I don't know, whatever it was. So there's always been a few issues there. Now that 2021 bikes, you couldn't even tune them properly, and it seems as if even now they've got the tuning sorted out, there are glitches with it. I'm just wondering whether going for a 2021 or 2022 bike, is it even worth it? Because you're just going to open yourself up to a whole host of issues. So look, let us know in the comments below if you've bought a 2021 bike, Street Glide or a Road Glide or Road King or a Softail, right? Have you done any upstage work on it? And did you get a tuner put on it, and is it working? Who did the work? What feedback have you had on it, and all that kind of good stuff? So has there been problems with it, you know? And that's where I'm thinking. So is there, now I know in time they'll get this sorted out, of course they will, you know, the tuner companies eventually sort it out, but it might be another year or so before you're getting glitch free tuning, right? Which, you know, when you got glitches, you know, it's just a pain, isn't it? It's more of an annoyance, a real bad annoyance, rather than a real major problem. So I think so that's, if I did go that way, I'm just wondering whether I just try and find a 2020 bike instead. But anyway, I've got this test ride sorted out. You know, I'm not going to make any decisions, certainly until I've not tried the Road Glide and the Road King, the specials as well. What colour I'd go for, whether I buy new, whether I buy second hand, whether I'd even just go for an older one, you know, and have that as a second bike and something that I could work on as well, or whether I just opted for a brand new bike as well. I just don't know. I actually don't know. I'm in no rush to get rid of the Sport Glide because I love it, and I still love it, and I still, you know, I still think it's a fantastic bike. But I do think sometimes I'm lacking something, and I don't know what it is, and I'm wondering whether I could find that in a Tourer. I don't know. But anyway, maybe I don't even go with Harley at all. Maybe go with something completely different. I don't know. But anyway, I thought I'd leave that with you. My little ramblings on the way home. Nearly home now, thankfully. Time to have some food and put my feet up and try and get warmed up a little bit. Anyway, catch you on the next video, whenever that is. You know the score. Like, share, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Check out the website, and I'll catch you again. Ta-da.